Welcome back to The Frequency. I want to talk about 3 pillars of prosperity. I guess a life of growth, a life of meaning. Hell yeah. Thanks for joining me back here. It's winter time, we back at it. And I thought I'd share some coffee thoughts with y'all on this morning walk. Pillar number 1, self-knowledge. Why is this before self-awareness and then upright vision, upright direction? Self-knowledge comes first because we have to get a sense of what we're working with here. We have to get a sense of, like, the spiritual narratives. In a sense, like, wow, I have a superior self that was before and will be after. You know, like self-knowledge in the sense of just basic, like, oh, I like this, I don't like this, you know. I'm good at these things. These are my strengths, these are my weaknesses. It implies a degree of learning and also experience, you know. Self-awareness comes second. And thirdly would be upright vision or upright direction. My friends, I would say that so much pain, suffering, and leaking of energy in this world right now is a product of people chasing dreams that aren't theirs, of people wanting things that they don't really want. It's a seed planted in their mind because they don't have self-knowledge nor self-awareness, and they never cultivate upright vision, right? And when this happens, my friends, when we chase things that our self doesn't even want, we end up in weaves of resistance, pain, and suffering, period. Welcome to samsara, or is that the Buddhist term, of eternal suffering. Because we are leaking energy in pursuit of something that we must force ourselves to because it's contrary to our nature. My friends, deep freedom is doing that which your deepest self wants to do. My little self doesn't want to, do some breath work and, just walk and make a video. He just wants to stay inside right now, But doing what my deepest self wants to do is the path to fulfillment, my friends. And to do what your deepest self wants to do, there can be an inkling, there can be a sense, but if our minds are just full of media, of consumption, of social programming, of what they say, of what the parents say, of what they want, of the options that we've been shown so far, right? Well, we're gonna have a long weave to unweave, you know what I mean? A lot of undoing to do. So, yeah, that's why self-knowledge, first off. So let's start there, let's go a little deeper. Self-knowledge, my friends. When it comes time to gain real clarity in life, so we can make real steps in the direction towards alignment of our inner and outer worlds, real steps towards alignment with the truth of our nature, so that we can progress into a lifestyle, a reality that supports our deepest well-being, and challenges us in all the right ways. Self-knowledge is critical. So basically, my friends, we're gonna build a house. We're building a house on a true foundation. And to build that house, that masterpiece for you, that house is your life, that house is your business, that house is your relationship, it's everything, right? We gotta survey the resources and the blueprint here. Okay, what resources does the self have? Self-knowledge, my friends. What are your strengths and weaknesses? What skills, unique experiences, challenges have you had on your journey, on your story, right? Self-knowledge in the sense of what connections do you have, right? What resources? You have a phone, you have the internet, maybe you have access to these revenue or financial resources. Maybe you have access to these, info resources or individuals, right? Then going even deeper into self-knowledge is kind of what did my childhood self do? I was dwelling on this, meditating on this the other day. And I was a deeply obsessed youth individual. Whether it was just digging holes in my backyard, fishing all day, just straight through, You know, like surfing for 8 hours straight on a family trip. You know, anything I did, I just went all in. I would just do it for hours and hours. And little revelations of that, like that, dwelling and meditating upon your childhood, upon your nature. Were you extroverted? Were you introverted? You know, like, what was your deep nature then? That's gonna hold some keys, your inclinations. Next level, self-knowledge, is like your astrological energy makeup, you know? Do you understand your archetypes? You know, like me, myself, for instance, just like archetypally, I have a masculine essence, you know, a very masculine essence. I, in fact, have a feminine mind, in a sense. You know, I have a masculine emotional way of being, a masculine way of connecting with people. So just like that kind of self-knowledge, looking at your astrology, how much air, fire, water are you, right? You know, looking at your, you know, whatever kind of system you want, whether it's numerology, gematria, whatever kind of self-knowledge tools you can implement, use them, right? Go check out The Secret Language of Birthdays. Go check out all these amazing tools online to gain self-knowledge. Get your natal chart, get a reading, you know what I mean? Get the self-knowledge so it's like, oh wow. You know, my sun is in Leo in the 6th house, creativity and service. My moon is in Libra in the 6th house. My ascendant is Gemini. Oh, I'm built to communicate and create. Like, it's written into your stars, my friends. Your path, your purpose, your strength, your weakness, your suffering, your journey is written up there. Self-knowledge. Self-awareness. Drop the knowledge. Dissolve, my friends. Dissolve into stillness. Dissolve into silence. And observe the thoughts. Observe the feelings. Observe the self. At this stage, my friend, it is simply disidentifying and separating what is self and what is not self. Not self being, like, I guess, lower planes of self in a sense, but it's like, you are not your thoughts, you are not your body, you are not your feelings, you are the one observing behind it. And until we can have a practice of self-awareness, you know, in meditation, and even to the point where it's just like an operational thing throughout the day. You know, it's like, oh, something triggers me. It's like, I don't have to react to that. I can respond to that. I can alchemize that. I can breathe that in, right? Sitting with emotional things that are making me want to eat or lash out at someone, or, you know, like hit someone up in a place of lack and scarce. No. You know, we can build self-awareness, and that just starts by sitting with the self. Sitting in silence. Sitting in stillness and realizing that you are the one that remains after the thoughts and the lies drop away, after the mind stops thinking such loud thoughts, after the feelings quiet down and bubble up and quiet down, and the body, and we can dispassionately observe the breath in this being and have gratitude for awareness in this being. Practice self-awareness, right? Enough said there. Self-awareness is a critical tool for any alchemist, for anyone on this journey right now. Is like, we just got to be aware, because without self-awareness, my friends, you will forever be a slave to your past self. Without self-awareness, you will forever be a slave to your psychology. Without self-awareness, we don't have the first tool to start upgrading, to start dissolving, deprogramming a psychology that was built out of alignment with our nature to serve and protect ourselves, you know, in a time in the past. We're all slaves to what we once were, period. You know, like, our cups are so full. You know, our minds are so weaved. Our egos are so tight. And if we want to release resistance, release the forcefulness, create alignment with the inner and outer worlds, which all of this is trying to accomplish, right? To create alignment with your inner truth and your outer experience, like with your destiny and highest calling, is to dissolve that which is, you know, weaved not right. To dissolve that. And to do that, my friends, we need self-awareness to just begin, oh wow, you know? It's like 99% of this world is in constant reaction to distraction, and they don't make a single choice. They have like 0.01% choice, because everything is simply just a program playing out. A happens, B is going to happen. You know, it's a reaction to states, it's a reaction to feelings, resistance, holding on to what's familiar, resisting what's unfamiliar, resisting what's uncomfortable, holding on to pleasure. It's pleasure pain mentality, my friends. We need self-awareness. Third, upright vision. Let's get into the meat of it, my friends. Hell yeah. If you guys have enjoyed this video thus far, hit that like button, share this video with someone you think will find, you know, impact or value here, and let me know, you know, if you enjoy these videos, what you enjoy about it. I love your emails, your comments, really appreciate all of that, and let me know where you want to dive in deeper. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one, really powerful coaching consultations with me, you can apply for a freebie down below, link in the description, where we can dive in to right where you are on your unique journey and talk about creating alignment of your inner and outer world, because that is the great work, my friends. Upright vision. This is Buddha's, like, you know, first principle on the Eightfold Path. It's kind of thinking on the other day. And my friends, if we desire things, like, desire is not a bad thing. In fact, I think desire and deep aspiration for what the deepest self wants is one of the most noble things we could ever do. Cultivating aspiration for the unfoldment of like a higher me, of a higher reality, is deeply profound. It is in fact what the Most High wants for you, right? Like, spiritual development is aligning with the will of the Most High and like acquiring that as your own will. When your deepest desire and that of the one above for you are one and the same, right? And you have shown the universe that you are ready, leveling up is inevitable, right? So upright vision, my friends, happens post stillness, right? We all need to go reset. How can we know what we want, be making plans for the future, right? And then getting all busy, directing all of our energy, reacting to all this chaos, creating more chaos in our life, you know, from a lens so dirty, thinking all these thoughts that aren't even yours, you know? Like, how can we just get off the media? We're living a disconnected life from, you know, our deepest self. We're not doing anything that fills us up. We haven't tasted real life in a hot minute. Like, that is not a place to start making plans for the future or start thinking about what you desire, you know? Yeah, that's probably a place to start building self-knowledge and self-awareness, but like, upright desire, my friends, comes from deep connection and like experience, you know? Upright desire comes from vision, true vision, right? So like, going out and letting go of the phone, letting go of the friends, letting go of the world's programming, and seeing what is there, what self remains eternal, you know? Like, what is the deepest heart of heart pull you towards? What is your deepest inclination? What is the thing you've known that you want to do your whole life? Let the truth surface, my friends. It's an inner knowing. It comes from the depths of your being. No one needs to tell you. No one really even needs to guide you, my friends. Like, your direction, your journey, your development, like, it's a compass that's always pointing true north. Where's your North Star? You know? And a good way to find that, my friends, is simply just let go of the bullshit and the attachments. Face some of that darkness and start eating it. Start eating, like, letting go of things, you know, letting go of toxic relationships, the phone, the media, reaction to distraction, and find some stillness, find some depth, find some clarity, find some self-awareness, be in alignment with self-knowledge, and boom, the seed will be planted and aspiration will start burning. That's the threefold pillar to creating a life in alignment, my friends. I would say those three are like such a fundamental foundation. I don't know. In my mind, that's critical. Self-knowledge, self-awareness, upright vision, and desire. Desire that which your deepest self wants to do. Think beautiful thoughts and you will become beautiful, right? Do that which your deepest self wants to do and you will realize freedom. You will realize abundance because you will be moving connected to your core. This is Reality Files, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just a raw talk out here. Let me know if you like this style. And yeah, I really hope you do share this with someone that you think it's going to impact And when you hit that like button, when you support me on Patreon, you know, when you drop a comment, or when you schedule a free one-on-one, whatever it is, my friends, all those things are ways to give back. And I really appreciate that. We're building tribe, we're building a movement out here, my friends, a movement of those who are willing to step up into alignment with their truth and the calling of the spirit of the hour. 2020 is around the corner, my friends. Are you stepping up? Good to see you. Love you, fam. Peace.